guys, have you ever heard the phrase, fortune is in the follow-up? It is so true, especially in your business right now. You want to be doing those follow-ups diligently. It's where the fortune is, I promise. So let's talk real quickly about the different areas where you can be following up with your hosts and customers. The first area where you're gonna wanna be doing follow-ups is when you've sent an invitation to host. So if you've challenged yourself to a challenge to invite a bunch of friends to host, and you've sent out your private messages, and you've checked in with them, and you've been friendly, and you've asked them how they're doing, and you at the very end, you're asking them to host a party with you, and they didn't respond, it's not always because they don't like you or they don't want to respond to you. It's almost actually never about that. How many times have you been on your phone and you've been scrolling and you're busy and you're distracted and somebody messages you and you're like, oh shoot, I need to put my phone away. And then you come back to your phone and you realize like several days later that there was a message there that you never even looked at or responded to. It happens to me all the time. So that's when a follow-up is so important. So what I recommend is that after 24 hours of messaging the invitation to host, you send a follow-up message. The follow-up message does not need to be anything spectacular or long. In fact, keeping it short and sweet is probably best. I would send something super quick, just a quick hello, just checking in with you. I know you're super busy. We all are, aren't we? Just wanted to see if you got my last message. I would really love to hook you up with these free books. Something along those lines that lets her know that it's, you know, still kind of no pressure, but you're just waiting to hear from her to see if this is something she's interested in. So that would be the first area where you're going to want to follow up. Always follow up. I cannot tell you how many bookings I've gotten from following up with hosts, even though I felt uncomfortable and didn't really want to message them again because I felt like I was hounding them. When I did follow up with them, they responded to me with a thank you so much. I completely spaced responding to you. Yes, I do want to do a party. Let's do this date. So it really does work. And if you don't hear back from them, even after the follow-up, wait a month or two before you contact them again. Give them a little bit of time to catch up. They might be having a busy time in their life or they're just not interested. So give them a little bit of time and then follow up with them again in the future. I recommend having a list of the people that you've invited to host so that you can go down that list and say, oh, it's time to check in with this person again. And you can go ahead and send that additional follow-up message after a period of time. The next area that you're going to want to be really diligent in your follow-ups is in your host coaching. So when you are coaching your host through how to do the party, you're going to want to make sure that your messages to her are simple and sweet and one task per message. You don't want to overwhelm her with all the things she's going to have to do as a host. You may want to give her a quick overview at the beginning, either with a host coaching video or with a graphic of some kind that gives her an overview of what she's going to be doing, but then keep the actual steps very simple and clear and easy to understand. You're going to want to follow up after every single step of your host coaching to make sure she's doing okay, she's asking you the questions she has, and she's not feeling overwhelmed. After you've finished your party, the next day, what you're going to want to do is make sure you send a message to your host and ask her to message all the people who did not order the night before and ask them if they plan on ordering or not. It's a quick and easy message that gets you the response you need to know whether they're going to order or not. It gets commitment out of the people who did plan to order, and it helps remind those who maybe forgot that they were interested in the first place. I've been so distracted when I've been invited to Facebook parties in the past that I did forget to order even though I really wanted to. And if somebody had followed up with me, I would have been able to finally go through with placing the order. So you definitely want to make sure that your host is sending these messages because we're afraid of Facebook jail. We don't want to be thrown in jail by messaging people we're not connected to. So that's why I really recommend that you have established a good relationship with your host coaching leading up to the party, during the party, and then after the party, she'll be confident that what you are telling her works and she will want to send out those follow-up messages. They work wonders, and I have seen in my own personal experience dud parties turn into complete successes with that follow-up message that I send. Another area that you're going to want to follow up with is booking within parties. So if people seemed interested in hosting, but they didn't commit to a date, that would be a case where I would message them privately, but I also understand the way Facebook works that they may not see that message. So I may let the host, the original host of the party know, hey, I messaged your friend Diana. Would you mind checking in with her and let her know to check her others folder or her message request to see the message I sent her. Or I will start a chat with my previous host and say, would you mind starting a group chat with you, me, and Diana Hannah so that I can ask her some questions. She really wanted to host, but we're not connected on Facebook. I want to make sure she doesn't miss out on that opportunity. That's a really good way to get the conversation going where you're not connected with one another on Facebook in a way that does not risk putting you in the spam slammer of Facebook jail. Okay, so another area that you're going to want to follow up is every time a customer orders. There are a couple things that you can do for your customers when they order. Something that I recommend is that the day that they order, send them a thank you email. You'll have their email address as part of their order receipt. And when you send them an email, you're just going to say, thank you so much for your order. I'm super excited for your books. And then give them an idea of shipping and delivery time so they know what to expect for how long they're waiting for their order. You may also want to send out a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card after they've received their books, just to let them know that you appreciate them and that you hope that everything was up to their standard and that they're happy with everything. And ask in that thank you card, were you able to get everything that you wanted? Let me know. I can help you get the rest of your wish list. You don't want that thank you note to be like a sales pitch necessarily. It should just be what it is, a thank you note. That's good customer service, but I don't see anything wrong with ending it with a quick question of, did you get everything you wanted? Let me know. I can help hook you up with the rest. That's an invitation to host, but it's not super salesy and spammy and in your face. Another area that you're going to want to be really diligent in your follow-ups is with potential recruits. So in parties, if you're doing a recruiting post, which you should be doing in every single party, if you're not, you are missing out on awesome opportunities. So on your recruiting post, you're going to want to make a list. I like to do a handwritten list of all the people who asked really good questions on that recruiting post. And I could tell that they were genuinely interested and not just trying to get extra entries into a free book drawing. I will either on the original post, on the recruiting post, tag all of those people and ask them to send me a private message so that I can send them some more information. When they message me first, it's not flagging me as a spammer and putting me in Facebook jail for reaching out to somebody I don't know. So ask them to message you or ask if you can get their email address, you can send them some more information. If they give you their email address, you can send them the recruiting pack, which is in the consultant toolbox in our back office, which is chock full of information. Now, for some people, it's too much information. So you might want to kind of get a feel for their personality and what kind of questions they were asking before you ask for that email address and send that packet of information. If at all possible, they can PM you on Facebook. That really is the best thing to get that conversation going before you go ahead and email them. So after you've done those things, you want to follow up with those invitations and messages to make sure that they have had their questions answered, see what they're waiting for, see what their hesitations are, and see if you can overcome any objections that are still hanging around for them. If you have their email address, it's great to send them a monthly email. In fact, you could set this up on MailChimp where you have a monthly opportunity email and you can remove the people from the mailing list who have already joined your team or who have told you they're just not interested, so that you're only sending monthly opportunity information to the people who are still interested. In that MailChimp email that you're sending out monthly, you would include the current kit special and maybe an incentive of your own as well if you're working on growing your team right now. I hope that those ideas help you to be more diligent in your follow-ups. I really believe in follow-ups, you guys. I think that it is the most important part of what we do with our hosts and customers and potential recruits is following up with them. It really does show that you care. You're not hounding them. You're not being a pain in their butt. You are helping develop a further connection with them. In those messages, just make sure you're not being salesy. Make sure you're being a friend. Make sure you're being helpful and service-minded in every word that you say to them. They will feel that and they will know that you're being genuine and that you're considerate of their feelings and that really you are not concerned about getting a sale. You're concerned about making sure that they got what they needed out of your interaction. All right, I hope that those tips help and I'll talk to you guys soon.